Hey, this is wrong. The cameras.
Welcome to Wrong Cameras, where you have to
Wow.
guess who we are today. Am I Caleb? Am
Uh,
I Seth? Or am I Alyssa?
Caleb,
Yeah.
you have 7 jobs, but that is one
I
of
know, and I
them.
can't even do one of them right. It's true. We're here once more with Gamebound, playing another game, Monsterhearts. We're continuing our kind of like mini series, doing horny teenage monsters. It'll
It's
be
so
good.
funny that that's what the premise is. Yet this is like
Pretty
not
much.
because of that, but this has been like one of our favorite side stories that we've done.
Yeah.
Like my favorite side stories.
Yeah,
It's been
no, for
great.
sure. There's lots of fun stuff that's happening in this.
Is that really a shock for me?
Yeah, we'll have to find some other alt game to do once
We've
we
got,
finish
like,
this
2
one.
more episodes of this.
Probably.
And 1 or 2 more, depending on how this goes.
Who knows? It might all crash to the ground right here, but we'll see. But yeah, we're playing some Monsterhearts, and I'll give a quick recap of what's been happening with our characters so we all are aware of what is going on. But yeah, the simple answer is everyone is imprisoned. So Gree is under house arrest by Miss Quinn. She's trying to keep you away from Pearson, right? From the program and the lackeys there. Yeah, because she wants to use you as a pawn. Zaf turned into his darkest self, killed Cassie.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I did not kill Cassie. Cassie killed herself. Oh, I keep freezing.
It's okay.
But I did not kill Cassie.
You definitely killed Cassie. You drank her blood until she died. That's what happened.
What?
But then Zaf was confronted by Miss Quinn, and Miss Quinn could have killed you, but instead decided to twist you to her own ends. So she kept you in your darkest self, but now you are also like a pawn of hers, right?
What about saying I didn't kill Cassie? That was my darkest self.
Well, then we would have to get into a long philosophical discussion about who we are when we do bad things and all that stuff.
So was last episode the police episode, or was that the one before that?
Police episode meaning
where the police officer came and tried to escort us away?
No, that was a couple episodes ago. Yeah. The police did go to Cassie's door at the beginning of last episode and was like, "You punctured Amy's eyeball. What is wrong with you? Like, they're pressing charges. This is bad."
What was the context behind why I'm Mrs. Quinn's prisoner? I know I am. I get that I am. I know why, but like the context.
Yeah,
I know. I get that. But I'm just trying to put myself in the mindset of Gree. Like, what is the recent? Why exactly did I go there to begin with? I don't remember.
Yeah,
I know because I need to go to prom. Was it prom or what was the dance called? Was it just prom?
So Iceland needs to go
homecoming.
To prom.
Yeah, I was homecoming. I was gonna go to homecoming with Iceland. So why did?
Well, now I'm going with Garrett.
So why did I? But I don't think I know that.
So there are several things that happened, right? So it all kind of started when Gree was too tired of running away from everybody and decided to try to kill himself, and then got hit by a train, and then Miss Quinn found you, locked you in her basement. Mm-hmm. You escaped from her the first time and have been running around since, helping Iceland with things. Iceland has been helping you, and basically it came down to Quinn using, with Zaf's help, got you guys cornered again, captured you guys, and basically said, like, Gree, like, or no, I think she convinced you, Iceland, that like this was for Gree's good, like she wants to keep him away from Mr. Pearson.
No, she convinced Zaf of that.
Okay, yeah.
And then Zaf came to get me and Iceland.
Yes.
I tried to like threaten her, and she didn't buy it, and so she was just like, "You have no power here."
Pretty much, yeah.
And
I was just like,
"It was my darkest self." Okay.
Yeah, sure. You were not in your darkest self until last episode, so before that, you were doing plenty of stuff. Man, this is not working correctly.
I'm trying to remember the context. Remember, like, Zaf came in to the classroom naked, and I helped him out or something.
Yeah, basically you were under house arrest by Quinn for a while there.
I know.
And,
I remember
and she
that.
was taking you to school because she wanted to keep an eye on you. And that's basically what happened. She basically was like, you can't take Iceland to homecoming because Mr. Pearson is a chaperone there, and like,
right. Okay,
you
now I
can't
remember
take her
that.
because you'll be spotted. And right now, Gree's kind of in a holding pattern because he's like, well, I guess I don't want to be captured by Mr. Pearson, so I guess I'll just stick around here for now.
Do I know that Iceland's still going, though? That's my question.
Well, Iceland just went to the program, went underneath the nuclear power plant to try to find out what your secrets were, Gree, because that was the deal. You were going to go to homecoming with her, and Iceland was going to go find out what was up with you by sneaking in with her ghostiness. But Mr. Pearson captured her, and that's what happened with Iceland, is Mr. Pearson has her captured in like a secret underground laboratory that apparently can negate your ghost powers. And just managed to resist interrogation. And that's where we kind of last left off. So Gree is being kept at Iceland's house. Zaf is watching over him in his darkest self as a pawn of Quinn, and Iceland is captured by Pearson in an underground laboratory.
But again, just my main question is, here's my question, because Gree knows he promised he would take Iceland to homecoming, but Iceland's going with someone else.
Yes.
Does Gree know that? Because if not, Gree's still going to try. Okay.
Yes.
Then Gree wouldn't try to necessarily.
Yeah, there'd be no reason that you wouldn't know that. I'm pretty sure you were informed. So
okay.
Yep. So I believe I have a couple of notes here that I took today. Let me grab them real quick, because I'm pretty sure there was something I wanted to start with. Yeah, so we see the classic kind of opening sequence of most of the episodes, right? We see the new janitor putting the letters on the letterboard outside of school. You know, it's Saturday, homecoming day, right? Or something to that effect, right? Like homecoming day today, whatever. Tonight, I don't know. Some sort of sign that tells us happy homecoming. There you go. Of course.
Homecoming.
Yeah. But we also see, as part of like the kind of beginning montage, we see as we're getting shots around Emmett Falls, the town you guys are in, someone probably that we've seen who's like a friend of Cassie's put up a missing poster, like a missing person, Cassie Chandler, have you seen this girl, sort of a thing. Like,
would it be Veronica, the girl that sat next to her?
Oh yes, I forgot that Veronica was friends with her. Yeah, that makes sense. So we see Veronica like stapling a sign to a light post or whatever. And we know that they haven't found her body yet, but people are looking for her. And let's see. The montage probably includes, shots of Gree and Zaf and Iceland in their respective places. We also, let's see. We probably get a shot of Amy in the hospital, right, with bandages over her eye, and Todd like there holding her hand. She kind of like is out of it with drugs. And I think that's probably it. I think let's start with this actually. So after the montage, I think what we see is Garrett shows up at Christina Clark's house, the school counselor, right? Knocks on her door. Mrs. Clark opens the door and sees him and kind of frowns and says, Garrett, it's good to see you. What can I help you with? And Garrett's just looking like distracted and kind of distraught. And he says, I've been trying to find Iceland and you don't have a phone, right, Iceland? So like, yeah, of course. So he's just like, she doesn't have a phone. I
think he got mad at me for not having a phone.
Yeah. Doesn't he think that you're staying with Christine? Okay. Yeah. I want to make sure that was the case. Yeah. So he just says, I assume she's here, but maybe she's not. I don't know. I'm worried that something happened to her, or that she, I don't know, doesn't want to see me or something? And Mrs. Clark kind of bites her lip and she says, Garrett, why don't you come in? I think we need to have a conversation. And we see her like set down some like lemonade and some sugar cookies in front of him. And he's, sitting across from her in the living room. And she kind of, she strikes the counselor pose, but doesn't obviously have like her normal like notepad in her hand. And so she fiddles with like the air for a second and then kind of puts her hands in her lap. And she says, Garrett, Iceland isn't staying with me. She's never been staying with me. I just recently found out that she doesn't have any living parents. And I'm honestly not actually sure who she's staying with. The school records are weird. Iceland is in there, but I had to go into the paper files to find anything. And Garrett, it says that she went to this school 50 years ago. I'm sure it's some sort of mistake, some sort of error, but I don't really know what's happening, and I think you need to know this too. I don't know if Iceland has any parents or if she's pretending to be someone else. She's on the run. I don't even know at this point. But I don't think either of us have known the real Iceland. And Garrett seems kind of angry. He says, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Iceland's been going to school with me for years now. She's always been at that desk. And Christine doesn't really know what to say, so she just kind of like is looking at him like sympathetically. And Garrett's like, no, there's something. She's in trouble. She's hurt. She needs. And we can tell he was about to say me, but he says us. And instead, she needs someone to help her through whatever she's going through. She's come so far, and I don't want to see it all go up in smoke now. And Christina kind of nods slowly, and she says, well, I had a book club this afternoon, but I think I'll cancel. And if you want, we can drive around, see what we can find. Maybe she's just out walking somewhere. We can ask around too. And Garrett just like nods and says, yes, we should do that. I'm just worried about her, Mrs. Clark. And he just like nods to himself again. And the two of them kind of like get ready to go and head out in Mrs. Clark's like minivan and start driving around Emmett Falls trying to look for you.
Well, if that's not the most wholesome person ever, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
How's he gonna die then?
But yeah,
probably my darkest self.
for who knows how many people Zaf is gonna kill before this is all over. And you know what? Speaking of Zaf, let's go to Zaf. Zaf is kind of trapped in his darkest self right now. But he's watching over Gree. And Gree, you're kind of like hanging out at Miss Quinn's house. And I mean, she's not expecting you to, she's said like, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to homecoming. So you're just kind of staying at my house over the weekend.
So I am being the essence of Gree G and Sulk.
Yes, exactly. So Zaf, Gree, go ahead and just tell me like what the scene looks like. Where are you in her house? What are you doing? She's off doing vampire business of some sort. What do we see?
He's probably just kind of sitting there. Like he's probably like maybe not at the where. So are we in the basement again?
Wherever you want to be. She trusts Zaf at this point to watch you and not keep you from going anywhere. So you can basically be wherever.
We probably would. I probably wouldn't be by the window because then people would be wondering. Gree would probably just be in the basement because where else would he be? He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like if I was Sulk in the basement.
And probably be eyeing you from kind of afar, keeping an eye on you, but also thinking about, would you taste good?
And probably what happens is like Gree looks. Well, actually, let me. What is my first backstory with Zaf? What's that mean? Taking social cues from someone and doing. Oh, right. That was. So probably what happens is I'm like sitting there like sulking in the corner. I look over to you, Zav, as you're like eyeing me, wondering if I'm tasting. Go, what?
Um,
Why are you? I mean, I know Miss Quinn told you to watch over me, but you have to stare at me like that.
would Miss Quinn have given me specific orders of don't harm Gree?
Well, she
Or
wants me to use me as a pawn, so I'm assuming so.
would you say? Sorry, I keep freezing.
It's fine. She wanted to use me as a pawn, so I'm assuming she wouldn't want you to hurt me.
Well, if I didn't get specific instructions, I mean, I'm gonna make sure you don't die. So you ask, why am I looking at you? I think I would just go ahead and feed from you.
Well,
I'm probably like staring at your neck this whole time. And then as soon as you say something, like your vein like pulses a little more.
Throbs,
like
maybe.
Gets more I can see it a little better. And then I just like
lunge at me.
Make eye contact, just boom, right next to you, like going for it.
Well, I would. What would be attacking? Would that be? Would attacking be hot or? I don't. No, volatile. It would be volatile, wouldn't it?
I mean, I don't think I roll anything. I just
So basically, what happens is Zaf is going to feed on you unless Greed does something to stop Zaf.
I would punch him like get off me, you freak.
Yeah.
And would I be able to use the condition shaken to get a +1? Could I embody?
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me real quick just find the moves again here.
Emily, are you on the 5.0 network or the 2.4 network?
The 5.0.
Okay, then there shouldn't.
I would guess switch to 2.4 because 5 gigahertz has a lower range.
No, it's the opposite.
5 gigahertz is stronger but has lesser range.
No, it's stronger but has a wider range, whereas 2.4 is a shorter range but is faster internet. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's. I don't think it's that.
Is it the opposite? Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Switch and see what happens, right?
Yeah, switch and well,
yes, you can switch and.
It might disconnect you, but try switching at least.
Yeah, give me a moment.
Are you like right by the router?
She's pretty close to it. It's not that far.
Yeah, I'm like I don't know where the router is.
It's in like the right by the hall. It's like right by your room.
Might as well try switching.
Okay, one moment.
Might disconnect.
You'll probably be rolling volatile to run away. Agree, yeah.
Okay, and I could use my shaken status to get a +1 to this?
I think so. Yeah, makes sense. Vampire is trying to suck your blood. Yeah.
And I don't think I get experience from this. I don't think I get experience from marking it off. I get experience when I get one. Right?
Yes. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure. I'm just reading everything again.
It should say on your character sheet, I believe.
When you take a blank canvas is what gets you the +1. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I actually get anything. So I'll roll volatile with a.
Yeah, it's when you gain a condition, you mark experience. But when you allow your condition to alter your sense of self, you cross it off and add 1 to your roll.
I was just trying to remember.
Yep.
Get the heck away from Zaf. With a 1 modifier?
Yeah.
Oh no! But
yikes! Double ones. Yeah, you can mark experience, but Zaf is feeding.
Do I get a condition?
No.
Okay.
Not normally.
We both mark experience since it's my first time feeding upon you.
Great.
and the
Oh,
first time
God.
you've ever been fed upon, period. So
Feel so
we'll go
blessed.
with mark experience. I take one forward, and then
Wait. Do I mark an extra experience? Is what you're saying?
Yes, you mark an experience
Oh, okay.
because
you
you are
mark an
fed on.
experience from me.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get
I
an
got two.
experience, and then you definitely don't die.
That's good.
I
Thanks,
get-
Zaf.
Well, I don't have any harm to heal, so
And also, you were given orders not to do so by Miss Green. So
I think what happens is like you're like latched on and we can't get away, and Green just goes, I don't think about you this way, dude. What the heck?
Is Grease blood special?
That's what I was wondering.
that is the question, right?
that's what I was wondering
he-
too. I was like,
He is a superhero, basically.
should there be some sort of roll for it to see?
Yeah, let's have you make a roll, Zaf. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of roll it actually is here, because slightly unclear in this situation. Okay. Monsterhearts. Open up this PDF again. If it will load. Maybe it won't. Just trying to think of the moves. Like it's not run away. It's probably not gaze into the abyss. It's probably like cold to act under pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and roll cold.
Perfect. My best thing. And I have a forward
Very good.
to hopefully forward.
He's trying to steal my. He's trying to steal my superpowers, or is gonna do it without realizing it. Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so partial success
I wanted him
on
to fail, so it
this
would be
move.
double.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to open up the PDF and it's not opening up for me. Just trying to find the moves again. Because usually it has specific qualifications for these things. Moves. Here we go. Keep your cool. On a 7 and 9, the MC will tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it. How would drinking the blood of a superhero... Superhuman. Yeah, you're not a hero.
So would it be like
Leave you
I
vulnerable.
get the blood and it like the power overwhelms me, so Gree would have the opportunity to escape?
Maybe.
I don't know. Or like it has some weird effect on my vampirism.
I was saying, does it like turn you human again?
No.
Is this
Yeah,
gonna be the
you know
second
what?
time Emily turns into Voldemort?
Because this is the thing, you partially succeeded, so something good happens from this, right? If you choose to go through with it. I'm just trying to think of exactly what that means. I think I like the idea that you go into like have a seizure or go into shock or something, so that Gree has a chance to escape if you'd like to. I'm just trying to decide the positive outcome of this. Like if you decide to go with it, what does this give you?
Don't vampires already kind of have super strength?
Yeah,
thing?
exactly. That's why I'm just I don't know what good exactly does come of this. The only thing I can think of is maybe it could like break Quinn's control over you. But it seems too
Breaks her
early
out of-
to do that, right?
It would also
Yeah.
be like for that to happen, I feel like it would be like Quinn could still have control over me, but maybe would it somehow break me out of my darkest self? Because this is dumb, but it's like it says you escape your darkest self when you're put in your rightful place by someone more powerful than you. So having the powerful blood go into me.
There you go. Okay, yeah, because
Or,
I think I really like the idea that like Gree was made in some way to be anti-vampire, right? Like if someone tries to suck his blood like this is actually like a thing they built into him, because that's the whole point of the program, right? Is to fight supernatural baddies like this. So I think that makes sense. In most normal situations, this is just bad, right? For vampires. But because of Zaph's circumstance, he obviously would want to get out of his darkest self. And so for you as a player, Emily, that's like the good consequence that comes if you decide to go with it. And then the kind of complication, the way you're vulnerable will be, like you'll go into like a seizure or something.
I think, I would like kind of like just, I think I would probably just like pass out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Being overwhelmed by the power.
It almost just like, it's like you're sucking his blood, but you're the one who's like having the effects of someone sucking their
I'm like
blood,
getting lightheaded.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, like what is happening?
Yeah, it feels like you're sucking your own blood in a weird way. Yeah.
So then I pass out, and honestly, now
agree. It's probably
not in
weird
darkest self. You can leave, and that's great.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you just probably pass on me, like
you pass out on him, right? Like you're feeding from it, and then just like
he's like pushing all like, what the heck is going on? And Gree's not staying. He's like, I'm not having this anymore.
That's really
I don't know where. I don't think he knows where he's going, but he's gonna book it because he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to be near Miss Quinn. He doesn't want to be near Mr. Pearson. He just wants to be away.
Yeah. You just kind of like take off, and we'll pick up with you later, sort of a thing.
Which is
wherever that ends up being
truly ideal, because I get out of my darkest self.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still like under the control of Miss Quinn, like the power of Miss Quinn. So I'm still supposed to want you to be there.
Yeah.
But me, not in my darkest self, I don't want to listen to that.
Yeah.
So it's like I accidentally let you go.
Got to disregard her orders.
Right, under her terms, because I passed out.
And once again, you're not listening to her completely. You're like irresponsibility got you in trouble.
Yeah.
And you know it's
like
funny
a theme.
Too? Yeah.
Yes.
You know it's kind of funny too. This is gonna be repetitive last time, because since we're in the basement, I probably crawl out the same place I did last time. That same neighbor's
we see the same neighbor. Yeah. Like, okay, I'm calling the police. That's what he does. Like he literally says that, and we just see him dialing the phone number. That's actually a great like fail forward thing here. Like just keep the story moving. So the police are going to show up pretty soon here.
And he's got blood dripping down his neck.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing. Yep. So Gree runs off into the morning hours, the morning light. And I think we probably cut over to Iceland then.
Yeah.
So Iceland, you're
being tortured.
You have no idea how long it's been. Like he interrogated you for several hours, took a break, probably interrogated you for a couple hours more, and then you still didn't break, and now it's like it's morning. He knows it's morning, and everybody else knows it's morning, but you probably don't have a sense of time at this point. But he leaves you, and it's just like, we're not gonna get any answers out of this person, and I need to find Gree, and he like leaves, right? So now it's just you, Iceland, kind of left alone in this like prison, and it's probably they just keep you in the room, right, that they had you in before, and it's just like you're strapped up to a table, right? You're strapped down to this like interrogation table. So you'll have to get out of that first to do anything. But who knows? There might be alarms or things that you might trigger if you do anything as well. But up to Iceland how she wants to go about trying to escape.
It's a good question. So this whole area is like an magic field kind of a thing.
Yeah,
right? So anti-powers field.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I've never felt more human, exactly. Ironically.
You feel very solid.
Okay. Well, what should I do? Is his like female assistant there like watching me at all? Because he had like some female assistant,
yes, he
right?
did before. I don't think she's in the room right now. I mean, she was obviously on night shift, so she's probably sleeping.
Okay.
And I don't think they have video cameras, so like we probably get a shot of some security guard watching you from his like little office.
Right.
So there are people watching you, but there's no one in the room with you, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, so good luck.
Yeah, I know. Good luck.
We'll just stay here for a while Alyssa tries to figure out a way out of here.
Well, I think what I'd like to try to do, because obviously I have been here before, and I was part of the program, and I managed to start an uprising apparently, and got like my brothers and sisters out of here, minus Gree, because apparently he didn't want to.
Oh, right, I
go.
stayed back.
Yeah, you stayed back.
I don't remember why either.
So I'd like to maybe try to gaze into the abyss to see if I can figure out, okay, like I probably have been in a similar situation. Like I need to look into my past and be like, okay, how did I manipulate my way out of here before? Is there anything in my past that can help me? I gotta look deeper
through your memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the goal. Okay, so that's dark, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Two. I dark past. Okay.
Yeah, partial success means it's like confusing images,
right.
but you get the answer nonetheless. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there was a way that you negated this field before, right? That's actually, we did learn that about Iceland, because you managed to, bring all of the other members of the set, your brothers and sisters, to some far corner of the kind of underground space here, and then bring them out somehow, and you have to negate the field to do that. So yeah, I mean, it's really kind of, I don't have a clear idea of what that might be yet. I haven't really thought about it. If you want to crowdsource this, that might be good.
So how what again?
So at some point in the past, the first time she broke out of here, Iceland figured out a way to negate the field, to negate this like anti-supernatural field.
Okay. Well, she's a ghost.
Yeah, she's a ghost. The thing is, like, her solidity has been guaranteed, so it can't be anything like that, right? But really, there's not a whole lot else that she can do as a ghost is the issue, right? I'm trying to think of like some other ability she has, but that's mainly her thing, right? It's just like turning transparent and flying. Now, do you have anything else on your character sheet?
Wait. Oh.
No, it says I'm a creep, I'm a helpful spirit, and I'm traumatized.
What if it's here's an idea. It just makes her solid. It doesn't necessarily, she can, maybe that's it. She can turn solid. Maybe, I don't know if this works, but the idea
I think the point is that it negates like all the powers though. Like,
yeah, I was thinking like maybe it's the idea like she's solid, she's still solid, but she can still turn invisible. Essentially.
Okay,
but
here's the thing.
Well, if she went into her darkest self, she could.
Have you guys seen Twilight?
No.
Breaking Dawn, Part 2.
No.
I have no clue where you're going with this. And I've seen it.
Here's the thing. Bella is a shield and shields other people from magical effects. So something within herself can get rid of the magical non-magic.
I was kind of thinking something along those lines, actually, where like it was a combination of two people together that were able to negate the magic.
Yeah,
the anti-magic.
Or somebody else was a shield for her magic before.
The problem is she's the only one there.
Yeah.
I have an idea. The assistant helped you last time.
Maybe. That was also years ago at this point.
Oh, right. It was like
years
ago.
Yeah, it wasn't quite that long.
So
I think it was like 25 years ago at this point, but yeah.
Still, it would not be the same assistant.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, maybe it wasn't a job. It was a career for that assistant.
I mean, I kind of like, I mean, Caleb's idea is kind of interesting. You have to go into my darkest self to be able to do it, right? That
I mean,
that like when I like am in my darkest self, like when somebody's in their darkest self, it somehow negates like the magic force can't like contain it.
Well,
right?
I was thinking along this line, right? So I'm thinking, so it says you become invisible, unnoticeable. No one can see you, feel your,
Unnoticeable
or
to the
hear your
field,
voice,
too.
right? Well, it could be that, or it could literally be as simple as Iceland turned invisible, and did the people in the program did the classic open the door to see to see what's wrong, right? Not
Right.
knowing where she is, and
Where
then
is
she
she?
yeah, exactly. And then you can escape because because at that point, right, like they can't feel you either, right?
Right.
For all intents and purposes, you are not in the chair anymore. So they might even unstrap it to like be like, what's that going on here?
Yeah.
Or would it just phase through her? Or is it, or she's
So-
still solid?
You
It
become
says
invisible,
no one
unnoticeable.
can see you,
No one can-
feel you, or hear you.
You can still
I
affect
can-
inanimate objects, but this is your only avenue of communication.
Oh, okay. You can still infect an animal. So she would still be in the.
So I'd still be
I
strapped in
think
technically.
So
But here's the
Right.
thing:
They
what they
could
didn't.
still smell her.
I
that's
don't
fair.
think I have a smell.
So then my question is: the one problem with this is that they might still notice that there's no one there, but it still looks like she's there.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know how exactly she's strapped in there, but if the
Well-
straps still look like they're strapping something in,
Yeah,
they wouldn't
that's what I'm
necessarily just
trying to.
undo them.
That's what I'm trying to think through. Like, because if it's just a matter of like, if Iceland goes so far into ghost mode that the field can't handle it, that's sounds like what we're going for. Then the straps wouldn't hold her, right?
Right, because I can walk through walls and fly.
And the thing is, if Iceland, I think this might be fine, because if Iceland goes into her darkest self, she can't actually communicate with anybody until someone acknowledges her presence and demonstrates how much they want you around, right? So this would still be a cost for Iceland, because she'd be able to escape the program here, but no one would be able to see her, hear her, feel
Get
her.
me out, yeah.
Yeah.
Just find Gree again. He's looking for. You're currently the only person who doesn't want him dead or eaten or something.
Oh, but really, we need to figure out, like, how can Iceland get into her darkest self?
How
Like-
does she get in her dark self?
Well,
I mean, I've just been beaten for hours. I don't know.
it's usually as a consequence of like a failed roll.
Right, of a failed roll. Yeah.
Keep rolling, Alyssa. Keep rolling till you fail.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what if I try to like make like a volatile roll to like escape like the things?
Sure. Yeah.
You know, I don't. But like,
That
then
makes
what if I
sense. Yeah.
succeed?
Right. Yeah. Let's just
I don't know.
Just escape.
let's
Yeah,
go.
you
Yeah.
escape.
Let's just go down the rabbit trail there. Right. Let's have Iceland try the
Because
things. that she
Iceland would
try.
try.
Yeah,
She would try
makes
to like
sense.
get out. You
Yeah.
know, but
for
okay. All right.
Yeah. So
Two.
I'm trying to figure out exactly what this would be, because I don't think it's like run away
It's to
even-
like escape the
or even lash out physically. I
dance.
think this is keep your cool. I think you're having to roll cold.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Right, because you're not
my
lashing out physically. You're not like trying to hurt someone, and you're
Right,
not.
right,
You
that's
can't run
fair.
away because you're like.
Well, and
trapped.
I'm trying to like Iceland would probably like try to like subtly like move her wrists and things to like loosen them, kind of a thing.
That
Like
sounds
that's
like
what
keeping
she's
your
trying to
cool.
do.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So roll cold.
Hey.
Partial success. So partial success on keep your cool. Same thing. We'll tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it. For you, Iceland. So I think you can get out of the bonds, right? Like you can figure out some weird. I mean, you're kind of like a skinny teenage girl, right? Like there might
Right,
be some way to kind of like, contortionist your way out of this thing, right? Maybe you're double jointed or whatever. And you just never knew because you're a ghost. But I think the vulnerability here will probably be like the guy in the camera, the security guard is going to notice, right? So you only have a matter of
Yeah,
time
of
before
course.
someone comes in to stop you. So at that point, you could try to like hit them over the head with something or whatever, right? But like, you'll start a chain of events if you do this.
Okay.
Escape sequence.
Okay. Okay. Can I? The cameras are obvious. Yes, where they're at.
Gaze into the abyss.
Okay, fine.
Hey, if you fail, you can go darkest self.
Where are the cameras?
It was a mistake to give you guys a thing to write in things there.
No, it was not. It's one of my favorite parts.
So Iceland, you can see one of the cameras, but there's another one that's hidden that you don't notice.
Okay, so I think what happens is like she's on the table, she's like looking around, and she like looks at one of the cameras, and she like knows that like she can like get out.
Yeah,
and then she like quickly like gets out and then like chucks something at the camera.
Okay, yeah.
Thinking that like, okay, that's gonna buy me like some time to like figure out a way to like get out of here, but then really they're still like looking at the cameras.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll even have you roll for that. You can just do it, right? Because there's another camera.
Yeah.
So you chuck some lab equipment at it, it breaks. But there's another camera that kind of zooms in on you that we see from the security guard's perspective, and he like and then grabs a taser, a gun, and a baton. Like I don't think an alarm sounds yet, but he like goes over. He's like walking over to the room now.
Wait,
so
did you grab a Ghostbuster suit?
No. What do you try next, Iceland?
Because
there's still like a locked door.
Right. I want to take a few deep breaths and just be like, okay, I gotta get to homecoming. I have to do it. I have to figure out a way to get there. And save Gree. And basically I want to find like there's got to be probably like some like key card system or something, I'm assuming, like where they like scan something. So I'm wondering if like
they conveniently left a card in here in the room with you.
Maybe not that.
No, yeah.
Because no, that's not gonna happen. But like I'm trying to think how I would escape, or if there's some kind of like mechanism inside here, maybe like because they probably have like the mechanism is probably controlled inside here as well. Like maybe it's like covered up with like some metal or something.
So
or
what's his face? Pearson had like a remote that he used.
Right. But I'm assuming like they have to have some kind of machine in here that actually like does the thing, unless it's like built into the walls or something.
I think it probably is. I mean, you could look around.
So I want to punch the wall, I guess, and like try to like break through the wall, so that way I can like. I don't know. That's like the best thing I can come up with is that if I can break the wall, because it's probably just.
Okay, so I guess what happens is Iceland uselessly punches the wall a couple times.
I don't know.
And then the security guard comes in.
Oh, you gotta say,
I think it's just too thick and too strong of a wall to. You're a teenage girl. You can't punch through a wall. So.
I'm also really lanky.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. If
you're
you were
a
a
lanky
ghost,
teenage girl who's actually like a ghost.
Oh, right, exactly. So when you're solidified, you probably your muscles have all atrophied and.
I know. I'm like, ow.
Yeah, exactly. So the door slides open, and kind of guy in his 30s steps in a security guard uniform. He has a baton in one hand and a taser in the other, gun on his holster, and he just says, "Listen, miss, you're just gonna have to get back on the table, okay? Do you want to do this the hard way?"
Do I? What do I have? What do I have? What do I have?
That's the issue. You're now just a teenage girl without any of
I'm
your
just a
ghosty
teenage girl. Oh man, I have a +1 string on Cassie. That's no good anymore.
Yes, that's the sad thing about Cassie.
She's a ghost now too. You can still use it. Did I just get Caleb an idea?
Iceland might be able to find the ghost of Cassie. It's possible.
My God, wouldn't that be crazy? But we've also just, I'm not I'm a project. I'm not necessarily a ghost.
So
right?
you
Like,
got,
I don't
so
know.
I think what happened is you got killed, right? And so you
Right.
accidentally got turned into a ghost because of that event, and then they captured you and used and like experimented on you so they could artificially create the rest of the set.
Right, because I was the first.
You're the
right.
first, and you were like, they're like, oh, perfect, we made someone into a ghost, we can experiment on them now.
I mean, my conditions. Okay, literally nothing's gonna help me. I just gotta like either run for it and like try to get past this guy, or fight him and like tase him.
Yeah.
Basically, I think that's what I gotta do. So
Tase him.
You want to slash out physically?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the only thing I got.
Tase him? Yeah, go for it. Roll volatile, I think.
That's volatile. I've got a -1 to that, so this is not gonna go well.
Makes sense.
You never know. You have a way to get a +1 or something?
Nope. I've got like nothing.
Yeah.
All my moves are basically my coolest move is that I can go through walls.
And all of her other moves are like intimate interpersonal things.
Right.
When you watch someone putting on makeup, get a
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, mark experience.
So what happens is you go for the taser. The security guy struggles with you for a little while, and then he realizes, like, you maybe even get the taser from him, right? But he realizes, like, if I let her go, I'm losing my job, and so he pulls out his gun and he shoots you. So, Iceland, you're gonna take some harm here.
Okay.
I think you take.
I'm a ghost, though. How does that work?
You're not a ghost right now. So
Okay.
you get shot. I think you take 3 harm.
Okay.
You only have 4. So if you get poked again, you're dead, or at least you're gonna do the skirt death move, which does things.
Death.
Yeah. So you are now like bleeding profusely from your side. This is the first time.
Am I?
Yes. You are right now. You are a human teenager. Like that, for all intents and purposes, you're a human teenager. Probably as soon as you go back into ghost mode, the bullet will fall out of you and you'll be able to fly away. But right now, you just got shot in the like torso somewhere, right? And you're bleeding, and it hurts so bad. Like and the last time you got shot, you died. So it just reminds you of that, and it's really traumatic. Go ahead and take shot.
I already had shot
as a condition. Just like you're in shock, right? Like from getting shot.
So should it just be shocked?
Put going into shock as your condition, right? You're doing that thing that the human body does when it gets shot, and you're not functioning correctly, and you're going into shock, and it's bad.
Okay.
And so you probably like just like stand there for a moment, like pressing your hands against your bleeding side, and the guy is still pointing the gun at you, and he says, "You need to stand down." And I think we get a cutaway to Pearson, who's like waking up after taking like a quick nap, and then he like goes like checks the security feed on his phone, and then he sees this, and he's like, "Oh no!" He puts his glasses on and just like books it but he hasn't reached the room yet.
Okay.
He's like, "They can't kill my experiment. This is bad."
Yeah. Wow. I'm like, honestly, Iceland's kind of like, well, I wanted to die anyways.
Right, that's what I was kind of like.
Yeah.
Don't you want to die? Isn't that the goal? So like, what if you get another harm?
Do you just like take a step forward?
I think what I do is I like grab his gun and put it to my head.
What?
And I'm just like,
yeah,
I wanted this anyways. Do it.
Okay,
Put me out of my misery.
That's like you're doing a roll, and if you succeed, he'll be so intimidated he won't do it, right? Unless that's not what you want. Well, what do you want?
I mean, me as a player, I want him to have sympathy and just be like,
yeah.
Crap, no, just go. Like,
okay,
what have I done? Like,
yeah.
and like, or at least not like go, but just like, oh no, like, what have I done? But me as Iceland is kind of like, put me out of my misery.
Yeah. I don't think this is. I don't think.
Or at least if he kills me, maybe I'll just become a ghost again, and then I can get away.
Exactly. I don't think this is rolling hot. I don't think the like failure conditions make sense for this. So just go.
I feel like it's trying to stay cool, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say roll
like,
cold again to just you're keeping your cool and acting despite fear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you
I mean, because
succeed,
Iceland's still scared for sure.
if
but
you succeed, he won't shoot you.
Okay.
If she doesn't succeed, he
I have
just
rolled
shoots
so
her because
many
he asked
things.
him. She asked him to.
Well, since you asked so kindly,
I think if he fails, if she fails, he just like slips on the trigger, right?
Goodbye, Iceland.
So if
Oh
you
my
if you succeed fully, then you're gonna have a moment to like make a break for it because he'll just like he'll be so intimidated he'll put his gun down, right? And you can.
Well, that's
make a
what I'm
break for
wondering
it.
is that once I break the threshold,
Yeah.
Is the magic field gone?
You don't know. I don't think you know if it's just
Okay.
isolated to this room or not. If you get a partial success, he won't shoot you, but Pearson will show up.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let me die? Question mark?
Hey, okay.
Man, one more and I would have succeeded. That would have been cool.
Probably the worst of
Yeah.
these options, though.
I know.
So you.
So what happens when you roll cold and it's a partial success? I leave myself vulnerable? Or-
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what it is. So you could actually choose here, Iceland. So you can do it, right? You can talk him down. But if you do so, Mr. Pearson will show up and then you'll have to deal with him. If you choose not to take that consequence, then he'll shoot you. So you can just decide to risk it and do your like death move and see if you can. Because one of the possible answers to that is you go into your darkest self. So that might be helpful for you.
So you're saying right now I would go into my darkest self? I'm confused.
We would look at either your death move. So I don't know if it's listed on the sheet here.
Skirt death. Yeah, it's not.
I'll have to find it real quick in the. But we would do the death move because you would take more harm and then die, or you would skirt death and then
shot.
Your options are to avoid death, erase all harm, and choose one. You become your darkest self, or you lose all strings you have on everybody. You can also just die. You can choose to die.
I mean, I feel like it kind of makes sense, though, right? That like he just in a moment of panic pulls the trigger, and then I become a ghost again, but I'm in my darkest self.
I was gonna say maybe what happens, Iceland, is you successfully talk the dude down, right? And he starts to lower the gun, but then Pearson shows up, and you tell me, does the guard panic and think, oh no, I can't look bad in front of my boss, I have to shoot her? Or do you grab the gun yourself and put it back to your head?
I think I grabbed the gun myself.
Yeah, right? You're just like, I can't be in this guy's
I'm not gonna be tortured by you anymore. I'm either gonna die or I'm gonna turn back into a ghost and get out of here.
Yep.
Like
so yeah, the trigger is pulled, Iceland's head snaps back and she falls to the ground. And I think it says that it's up to you. Yeah, to avoid death, erase all harm and choose one. Would you want to become your darkest self or lose all strings you have on everybody?
I want to go into my darkest self.
Yeah.
Makes more sense. So if a ghost dies, does that make her a super ghost?
Well,
I've already died technically once.
Exactly.
I've got enough harm to.
Yeah, screw
That's what triggered my darkest. Yeah.
I think the idea here is that I don't think she dies. I think what is really happening is the field is kind of tricking your body, your ghostiness, into thinking it's a human again, right? But as soon as you die as a human, the field stops recognizing you as an entity, and then suddenly your ghost comes back, right? And for whatever reason, the way the field works, it has to like be activated and like detect you before it gets activated, right? Like it hasn't targeted you now. You're like kind of
but I thought we also said that when I'm in my darkest self, it doesn't affect that.
So we kind of went back and forth. It hasn't happened yet, so I think I'm going to solidify the answer. The reason why this works right now is because your body died, and now you become a ghost again because the field stops recognizing you. right?
Wait, did we determine why Gree didn't want Iceland to do this last time?
Yes, you were like, this is just going to make it worse for everybody, and they're just going to grab more kids and make them into experiments.
I want to kind of add to it. Maybe he thought it wouldn't work and he would actually just lose her.
Yeah.
Where it's like because like this is probably what she did last time. She got herself killed.
I think so. Yeah.
And he didn't want to do that. He's like, that was his reasoning. You're just gonna grab more kids, but also I don't want to. What if this doesn't work and you really just die?
Yep. So Iceland, you just pop into invisibility. You're a ghost now. You can see everything. You see a body.
I think.
So, like,
right,
I think you see your own body slumped and dead on the ground. Like, for whatever reason, the field, like, generated a body for you or something. Like, it was really weird what happened there. Like, you have no idea how this works.
Yeah, so I, like, look at myself, I look at the body, and I kind of go...
Yeah, and we can't hear it. Yeah, of course. We just see you swear.
And nobody can, because, they can't hear it, and then they, like, go to their perspective kind of thing, and amazing. Then we probably cut away at that point. But
that's awesome. Yeah, love it. Okay, so this is what happens. Zaf, you are shaken awake by a police officer. And
I have a bad history with the police.
Yeah, it's Officer Garrity. It's this like the guy who's played by the guy who played Kronk, right? So he shakes you awake. And he's like, Mr. Tresnor, can you explain to me what's going on here? And like he's like, there's blood on your mouth. there's a broken window.
A rebroken window.
You're in Miss Quinn's basement. And for whatever reason, Miss Quinn is like gone right now. So like they just found you in the basement, right?
I'm just kind of like.
Yeah, do we know where she is right now, actually?
As far as we know, so she did mention to you and Zaf that there's a meeting of the Quaestors, the basically the vampire lords. That is, some vampires have come to Emmett Falls to have a meeting, some sort of important like meeting of the Quaestors to decide what to do about the program. So he's probably off doing that.
So I think I just kind of look around.
Yeah,
situation.
Mrs. Quinn's basement.
I kind of look at the officer. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
That makes it sound worse.
Yeah, and so the other police officer, who I don't remember if we have a name for or not, we probably do, but he's African American. He's like Garrity's partner. He leans down and he says, "Son, did your teacher kidnap you? Is that what happened here?"
Which teacher?
Miss
Mr.
Quinn,
Murphy?
the history teacher. This is her house.
I just say,
do you know where you are, son?
Murphy? I'm in a house.
So is this Zaf playing dumb? Because I think it has to be.
I think I'm really just because like I don't want to get in trouble, but also I can't really get Quinn in trouble because she has the control over me. So I'm just trying to like
go ahead and roll
the fact of like I really don't know.
Roll cold then to try to like act despite fear here, to try to convince the cops that you were just a helpless teenager who knows nothing. I love how Emily always writes a novel when she makes rolls.
Yeah, she didn't the first time, which was a surprise.
Success.
Hi, Mr. Policeman. I really have no idea why there's blood all over my mouth, but it tastes real good. Yeah, success. Very good. Yeah, so he probably just assumes like you got punched in the mouth or something, right? In like a struggle.
Punched by my blood.
Yeah. And punch drunk, maybe.
And I made sure to say when they asked if I got kidnapped by my teacher, I was like, Mr. Murphy?
Right. To just keep them off the trail here.
Like, why would I assume Quinn is the
mhm.
teacher who kidnapped me?
Yeah, Garrity just like puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Don't worry, son. You're safe now. We'll go ahead and drop you back off at your house, and my partner will stay with you to make sure nothing else happens while we sort this out."
I just realized that Zap is the only one with the house. If he'd said that to anyone
I have a
else,
home.
but just the fact that like if he'd said that to anyone else, you were like, yeah, my house.
You know what? Actually, it probably makes more sense as they say, "Well, my partner's gonna bring you to the station so we can ask you a few questions, right? Because they have an investigation to undergo. Like they'll inform your, and I think he also says, we'll let your parents know what happened, and they'll meet you there. Don't worry, we'll sort this out. We'll find out what happened."
Can I look at one of the officers deep in their eyes?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You look Garrett in the eye and
I say, "You said this is Miss Quinn's house? I hope she's not going to get into any trouble. She's my favorite teacher." And I try to hypnotize him.
sounds good. Roll
So I gotta roll a
hot.
hot.
Yep.
Oh, this goes poorly. This goes poorly. She's my favorite teacher.
Yeah, and I think honestly, yeah, the failure here probably is something along those lines where they start to be really suspicious about this. Just like, wait a second.
Partial success.
Yeah. On a 7 to 9, the hypnosis works, but choose one.
Okay. I'm gonna say they mess up my commands because my command was like, I hope she doesn't get in any trouble for this.
I see player Emily making her own way here.
I'm following the hypnosis by Miss Quinn.
Indeed.
I must work around it in a creative way.
Indeed. Yeah, so you hypnotize him, fail to hypnotize him, but in just the right way. So now he's incredibly suspicious about Miss Quinn, even more so. And he says, "Don't worry, we'll find her and we'll bring her to justice." And
I kind of like give him like pleading eyes and say, "I really can't get her into trouble. She can't know I talk to you."
And he nods. He nods, kind of gives you a wink. He's like, "I get it. I understand. Don't worry. She won't find out."
Okay.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, they bring you away.
I'm just trying not to get killed by Miss Quinn.
Yeah, so I'm trying to decide if like Miss Quinn shows up right now or not. Because that could certainly be something that happens here.
How
Okay.
long's it been?
This is what happens.
I was gonna say, how long's it been? Because we could potentially cut back to a scene with Gree, because I think I know where he would have gone.
I think it's maybe been like an hour. So I have an idea actually. So I think what happens is you guys make your way upstairs, right? And it seems that the way the shot is being framed is like, at first we were like expecting a cutaway, like to someone else, but then we get the walk upstairs, right? And then it's suddenly like, cinematic language. We understand. Something might happen here. Something might be upstairs. Why are they continuing to follow these people? And it's not Miss Quinn who's there, but there's someone else in the living room. And someone we haven't met before, we haven't seen on screen. But it's a very pale gentleman. He looks like
No, he's gonna kill the police.
He looks like a old grandpa like figure. He's wearing like a suit, kind of old fashioned suit with like a vest, and he has like a pocket watch, and he looks up from like reading something on like her coffee table, on like Quinn's coffee table, and he looks over at the police officers, and like they both like put their hands on their guns, like what are you doing, like starting to be on edge. And the man says, he looks at you, Zaf, and he says, "Ah, Zaf, it is so good to see you. Your parents sent me to bring you, your parents sent me to fetch you. I hope your time. Let's see. What do you say? I hope your time cleaning Miss Quinn's basement was productive. And the officers are like, they probably don't let you talk at first. They just like, the Garrity says, I'm sorry, who are you? He says, oh, I'm Zav's grandfather. Abernathy, at your service. And he holds out a hand.
I've never seen this man before in my life.
I'm not even of European descent.
By marriage. By, yeah, whatever. He gives you a look. This Abernathy fellow gives you a look, Zaf. Like, play along. Like, don't you dare say anything.
I mean, I'm just saying nothing whatsoever.
Sure.
I'm letting the police.
Got it.
You're
And
still technically under hypnosis.
I'm under Quinn's hypnosis.
domination.
I'm not under this. Yeah, not under this man. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the police are just still really suspicious, and I think Garrity like looks at you and he says, "Is that right, son? Is this your grandfather?"
I just look at the police officer and said, and say, I thought you needed to question me at the station.
He nods slowly. He's like, I understand. And he turns back to the old man and he says, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the premises or things might get. And he doesn't get to finish the sentence before the vampire dude just springs into action.
Can I try and attack the vampire?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, you can try.
I'm going to do it poorly because I'm assuming that's volatile.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's probably a lot stronger.
I do have a -1 to volatile.
Very good.
I mean, it's better than.
Very nice. Fail. Save the policeman. Save the world. So, Zaf.
Mark experience.
I
did.
You like go for him, right? Try to reach him before he gets to the police, and he just swats you aside like a fly, and you slam against the wall of her living room and just crumple.
Slide down.
Yeah, exactly. And then you maybe just even close your eyes, right? And you just hear like screaming and death, and but you don't even see the rest of it, right? It just cuts away, and you basically this guy's gonna bring you to Quinn, and it won't be good.
No.
Yep.
Everything's coming up on Zaf.
Yeah. So yeah, we cut away to Gree. Where are you?
Here
Gree?
was my okay. I want to workshop this a little bit.
Yeah.
Who is it more interesting if I run to? Veronica or Christine?
Veronica, definitely.
The problem is, do I know Veronica has a crush on me?
I think
I thought you did.
it's implied at this point. You may have
'Cause my
failed a roll to find that out, but
I don't remember. Because here's the thing. It might make more sense actually if I ran to her, because Christine, she also thinks I'm a little out of it because of that rant I had at one point. So
that's
she also
true,
thinks I'm crazy. My one thought was she would help me with Miss Quinn. The thing is, though, since she thinks I'm crazy, I'm like, I don't know who else to go to. Veronica, maybe, or maybe I just run into her.
Sure, yeah.
Because I'm like running.
Well, remember, we already saw her. She was out putting up missing posters for Cassie.
Yeah.
And so, Gree, you maybe even like are just running still, right? Like just like I have to get as far away from here as possible. And you turn a corner and just run right into Veronica as she's like putting up a poster. And she's just like, "Oh, Gree, I'm so sorry. I'm such a klutz." And she
Here's the question: Am I clothed? I don't remember.
Yeah, you're
because last time I was like half naked. Running
I mean, at this
there.
point, like Quinn was confident that Zaf could just keep an eye on you, so you're not like a tried and true prisoner at this point.
I go. Oh, sorry. Oh, Veronica. Hey, probably at this point, like he's just like that. He's just kind of like settled down because he's like realizing he's just kind of coming. Sorry, I didn't see you there.
That's all right.
There's probably papers everywhere now.
Yeah, he's just trying to pick them up. What's wrong, Gree?
Here's a
thank you.
question. Do I know what happened to Cassie?
Probably not. No, yeah, you're probably
Okay,
surprised by
good.
this.
Good. Cassie's missing?
Yeah, and Veronica gets really sad. She says, "Yeah, we're not sure what happened. We found her car, or we found her dad's car at the lake, but no one has seen her, and we're really worried.
Do I know that?
With what happened with
Um,
Amy, well,
Do I know that? Here's my question. Do I know that Zaf has had a thing to do?
Yes.
Has been
you've at least seen them
okay?
dating, yeah.
Do I have to roll the abyss,
Yeah.
or can I put 2 and 2
That's fine.
together? I'm just like, oh,
You can suspect.
I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Well, hopefully she'll turn up.
Did she question the blood that's running down my neck?
Probably not until this point, right?
Okay.
Then she glances at it and her eyes widen. She says, "Oh, are you okay?
Huh? What?
Your neck."
Oh, I ran into a fence.
2 nails were pointing out of it at this exact
my
angle.
fence ate my homework.
No, I it's like the chain link fence, it has like the barbs, and sometimes they stick out and they poke you, and I ran in. I ran into you. I ran into the fence.
Yeah, okay. And Gree,
That
you're
was
probably actually, especially since you just like ran really far, you're probably feeling lightheaded yourself. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I have superhuman blood, but it's
so I
still
think
blood.
maybe Veronica like grabs her, like, she has like a water bottle like that has like a bunch of stickers on the outside of it, and she she puts up a little straw portion, wipes off the top of it, and she hands it to you, and
I just like grab it, just like
Yeah.
Thank
What's
you.
going on, Gree? Why are you running?
It's a long story, one that I don't know all the answers to.
We can see Veronica just shiver at the like drama of that statement because she's totally into
she
you.
realized like it was funny, like going from like the really like the nothing's wrong to something dark and broody.
You wouldn't get it.
Sorry,
he just lights a cigarette. You wouldn't get it.
Sorry, that sounded weird. Have you seen Well, I've been looking for Cassie. Have you seen Iceland?
She kind of deflates slightly, like, because she's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot her. I've been seeing him and Iceland around each other a lot," and she says, "No, I haven't seen her.
Okay.
Sorry."
You haven't seen Ben, have you?
And she's just
Ben,
thinking through,
right?
like, "Oh yes, all these other people that he would rather see than me."
No. Like I'm trying to avoid.
She keeps
Ben's
deflating.
dad.
It's like,
Well, actually, hey,
so remind me, isn't Ben?
Can I go to your house?
I think
don't
Ben
know.
Ben is taking Veronica to homecoming. I think that's what happened because Gree never did anything with Veronica. I'm pretty sure Ben like bought tickets and asked Veronica, because I remember I think you had a conversation when you were trying to buy tickets, Gree, and it was like, she's the last person I could think of, sort of a thing. Like,
I do have an idea. Like, hey, do you have a place I could say hide, but I'm not sure that's how you would word it.
crash.
Look, do you have a place I could crash for a little bit? Kind of just sit down, maybe like oranges or something like that.
Yeah, I need some vitamin C. Yeah, go ahead and roll hot. That sounds like what that is.
I have a -1 to hot.
Wonderful.
I'll roll all the -1s right now. I do have a forward on her. I am going to use it. It didn't work.
Yikes. She kind of gets
That was a waste of a forward.
She gets a weird look on her face, and she just says, No, I'm sorry. I don't think my dad would want you coming to our house or anything.
Oh,
To be honest, Creed, I don't really know you that well.
I don't know many people that well, so I mean, you fit in with everyone else.
Now, if you don't mind, I think I have to get back to this.
Okay, well, I've got to get somewhere, and he's just gonna start running again.
Yeah, and you can see that Veronica regrets that she had to do that, but she's like her stranger danger senses went off that had been drilled into her since like elementary school, and so she's just like,
He's just trying to get away from
Yep.
people who are trying to kill him or capture him, or
shakes her head and has a regretful look on her face. But honestly, I think it does make sense that maybe you run into Christina and Garrett next because they're driving around looking for Iceland, right? So maybe like you're just like jogging down the sidewalk in like a random suburb somewhere, and Christina pulls up in her little minivan with Garrett in like the passenger seat, and Christina like pops her head out and she says, "Gree, are you okay?"
And as soon as she says, "Is there like a bush nearby I can jump into?"
Sure, yeah. Yeah, someone's hedges, yeah.
I don't think I have to necessarily roll anything because it's not obviously going to work, but just something I just jump in, just hide.
Yeah, she's just like, "Gree, I can see you. What are you doing?"
He doesn't move. He doesn't talk. He stays.
So Christina gets out of the car, and Garrett slightly gets out too, but he doesn't. He kind of stays at the vehicle and is confused. And Christina steps over and leans down. She's like, "Gree, are you okay?"
Depends on what you mean by okay.
Well, you're sweating like a pig, and you look really pale, and you just jumped into a bush as soon as you saw me. So
is this pale?
And she's like, "Well, I guess that's maybe true."
He has his hand on his neck. He has his hand on his neck, covering the
Yeah, right. She squats down and she says, "Gree, if you want to talk about it, if there's something going on, are you running from someone? This is kind of my job." "Well, how about you get in the car and we'll talk, right? Garrett and I are driving around right now looking for Iceland. Have you seen her?"
No, but here's the thing. Green knows probably where she is, but he's not saying it because he's like, "No, you don't need involved in that right now." Then that's also where Mr. Pearson is.
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, I am looking for her too."
"Well, come into the car and we'll talk there, okay?"
Okay. He looks far away. He dashes into the car and kind of slinks down to not be seen.
Yeah, Garrett looks back at you as everybody piles back into the car, and he just says, "What is wrong with you? I didn't take you for the jogging type."
I'm not.
Okay.
I do have a +2 to volatile, so technically I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Gree is a superhuman, so yes, he is the jogging type. But I think Christina just starts driving again, right? And looks at you through the rearview mirror and just says, "Gree, did you know that Iceland doesn't have parents and doesn't actually go to our school?"
Huh. No.
You hear the click of the locks as just in case you wanted to try to jump out.
He probably goes "Oh, really? Huh, I didn't know that." And
it wasn't the click of the locks like Christina's clicking it, but the normal sort of click after you start driving for a little while, everything relocks itself.
The chat
he probably flinches at that, "Oh, no, I didn't know that." And do I have to roll cold because I'm lying?
Yeah, I would think so.
Do I get a +1 because I'm embodying the liar?
Is it cold to shut down? Is that?
I think it wouldn't make sense to be hot or dark. I don't think.
Yeah, it's cold. It's to shut.
Because I think that's what you're doing here, rather than keeping your cool necessarily. Yeah.
Could I use the condition liar, or would that make me? Okay.
Well, actually, does that give you a bonus? Is that how that works?
I don't know what it says when you take an action that embodies one of your conditions. So I am lying. So yeah. Okay.
But don't you have to cross it off after you're done with it?
Yeah, I'm crossing it off.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go for it.
I forgot how to spell Iceland. There we go. Dang it.
Ooh,
Oh,
yikes.
wait. I forgot to mark that last experience. So I technically have one experience and I get another thing, but I have to
Advancement.
take a move from another skin at this point or find a hollow sibling, which technically I've already done in a sense. I'll take another move from another skin. Could I take a vampire's one since I just got bit by a vampire?
Want to
Ooh.
hypnotize people?
Yeah.
You can take a look.
Actually,
Yeah.
Here, do you want me to post it just like in the Roll20 chat?
Can I just look at all the vampire ones?
Should do you have access to the? Yeah, everyone can see all the character sheets.
Oh, I can?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, go ahead and take a look at the moves there.
I'm assuming you don't want to feed on people, so that takes out the bottom too.
I'd have to take feeding to even do those. I kind of like
Gree randomly chooses invited for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Like he only got the bad parts of being a vampire. He just can't go into people's houses anymore.
How Gree of him.
No one would ever want to invite me anyway.
I'm debating whether I should pick the cold as ice or hypnotic.
Oh yeah. There's also plenty of other playbooks too, if you want to.
I kind of like the idea of picking one from vampire because
makes
I
sense,
just got
though,
bit
yeah.
by a vampire.
Yep.
Wait, what did I just roll? Okay, it doesn't matter.
Keep in mind, you don't have to roll hot to do that.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to take cold because shutting someone down is cold, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
I'll take that one since it's
Cold as ice.
I have a better chance of it actually being useful.
Sure.
Since my cold is a little better.
Sounds good.
I'll just copy it over. Is it?
I just did it for you.
Oh, I already added it. Did it work? I'm confused.
Should be there.
It's okay. This is the second one now. Accidentally, I was waiting for it to look like all the other ones, but it didn't work. Okay, now I just have 2 extra things or whatever. So it didn't actually do anything to help me, but I at least have it. So yeah, like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I never knew that. It's clearly lying.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, right? She slams on the brakes, looks back with her shoulder like on the seat, and she says,
I picture her also mom arming
mom arming Garrett. Yeah,
Garrett.
Of course, yeah. And then she turns back and she says, Gree, now I have had just about enough of teenagers lying to me this week. So you're going to tell me right now what you know about Iceland.
I just tell her the truth.
Yeah.
She thinks I'm crazy.
Iceland's a ghost.
I mean, I just. Let me see. Do I? Here's the thing. She doesn't want me to lie. You know, actually, no. This is consistent. Last time she's like, "Tell me the truth." I told her the truth. She just thought I was crazy. I was fine. I'll just tell the truth. She's a ghost.
She just rolls her eyes and is starting to like be like, oh my gosh, like, are you kidding me? But then Garrett like kind of frowns and he turns back and he says, say that again.
Jesus is a ghost.
And he looks at Mrs. Clark and he says, okay, I know this sounds crazy, but I think Gree might be right.
I mean, you told me to tell the truth. What do you want?
And Mrs. Clark is just like, Garrett, you don't have to humor him. No. Listen, Mrs. Clark, earlier this week I saw something and I've been trying to not think about it ever since, but I thought I saw Iceland walk through a wall. And I was
can do that.
Can she? She can, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was going crazy. And this is obviously must have been just like some time where he was walking through the halls and happened to see Iceland do a thing, right? Like when you weren't paying attention, Iceland. And yeah, he's done a good job of compartmentalizing it and like not thinking about it. But that might have been part of the reason why he was so weird with you. And he just like kind of shaking his head like disbelievingly, just like, Gree, what's going on with her? What is there something wrong?
Yeah. She was supposed to be back a couple hours ago.
Where did she go?
Somewhere we can't. She went because she was the only one who could get there and escape. And now I don't know where she is. I just hope she's not there and she finds me. Because then I can help her come back.
Gree? And this is like Garrett speaking. He's a big football player. He kind of clenches his hand on the like seat as he like is turning around and looking at you. He's like, "Tell me where she is now."
Ding, 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 ding. I'm just kidding.
And Green just I was like, you have no idea what you're dealing with.
And Mrs. Clark is just like, listen, if you both have gone crazy, then I don't think there's anything else I can do here. I'm going to bring you both home. Gree, where do you live?
I don't have. I don't know. This is what you know. This is what Greece just done. He's like, I don't have a home. I'm from where Iceland's from.
Christina just face plants on the wheel and honks the horn. It's just like, ouch.
Both of you, ouch.
No, I don't think she says that.
No, I know it's
yeah.
just frustrating.
All I know
Garrett
is
like leans back into the takes his seatbelt off and goes back into the back seat with you and like grabs your neck, Gree.
I'll grab his hand.
And you're much stronger than him, so you just like
yeah. And no, this is what I do. I grab his hand before he could do it and just like squeeze his hand, like not like try and break it or anything, but just show like you don't, and just say like as he's doing that, like you don't know what you're dealing with.
Roll cold.
And I just took the thing to shut people down.
No, I think this is keep your cool, right? Because you're not trying to shut him down so much as well, just maybe you are.
De-escalate, really.
I think that then I think that is shut him down then, actually.
Yeah, I'm saying like you can't go where she went.
Yep, I think
if she got captured.
Yep.
Oh no.
So I think Gree is obviously strong, but he doesn't understand how to use his strength most of the time.
I'm also like I'm still like I have loss of blood.
Yeah,
so I'm like I don't sound convincing.
So Garrett punches you straight in the face. Take 2 harm. And Mrs. Clark is like, "What are you doing? Stop!"
I skirt death.
You skirt death?
I'm gonna say, would a punch do 2 harm? I got shot for 3.
Okay, 1 harm then.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Probably what happens is like I just barely take it and I'll just go, okay, okay, fine. You don't know where she is? She's at the power plant. I'm not going. Because if Mr. Pearson finds me, I'm dead. And you'll never see me again.
Garrett turns back to Mrs. Clark, like, what do you think? And she's like, what do you mean she's at the nuclear power plant? That makes no sense.
Neither's been a ghost.
Here we are. I still don't believe she's a ghost, so I
leave whatever you want, lady. I'm out of here. And he's just gonna leave. He's gonna get out of the door. He's just gonna leave the car. He's like, there's no point in staying.
I think Garrett lets you leave because he can just go to the nuclear power plant himself, right? And I think, I think that's what happens. Like Garrett just gets out of the car too. And he says, "Thanks, Mrs. Clark. I'll go back to my parents' house and grab their car." And Mrs. Clark, like, reaches and grabs his arm before he leaves the car, right? And he says, "Wait, I'll drive you there. Get back in the car."
Wait, are you really gonna go?
And Mrs. Clark looks at you and says, "I'm a school counselor, and it seems like Iceland needs some major counseling." And then they just drive away.
Greed's looking at him like do I just let them go and die? Because like because it's honestly a conundrum for him because I think I want to gaze. Can I gaze into the abyss to see if I should following them would be a good idea?
Sure, yeah.
Was that okay? Yay!
Wow.
Finally a success.
I think you see positive outcomes to this. Like the more you think about it, you're like, Ben Pearson or Eric Pearson probably isn't there all the time. If I don't go, they're definitely going to get in over their heads and they might get killed. So yeah, I think that's your inclination.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to,
can I run?
Yeah, you could probably just run and catch up with them, right?
Okay, I'll just run and catch up with them.
Yeah, and Garrett has seen you through the side view mirror, and yeah.
I open the door, hop in,
just hop back in. Well, you try to, but the doors have already locked again, right? Like,
and he's like, open the door,
and I guess Garrett presses the unlock button, and you slide back
hop in.
And he
if
turns
you're
around.
Gonna go, I might as well join you.
Yeah, he turns around. He's like, "Dude, you were running like 30 miles an hour."
Adrenaline, man.
I told you, you have no idea what you're dealing with.
And we cut the scene there. How about we go ahead and take a break and then come back and deal with more Monsterhearts right after this. Stick around.